welcome to today's edition of WEHA Mag. I'm Ronnie Newton, and I'm here today with Rick Liftig. Rick is a dentist in town, and he's also the president of the Elmwood Business Association. Rick, how are you today on this beautiful sunny day?
I'm doing great. I left one patient at the office. I'm speaking to you. I'm going to run back.
So Rick, in your other role, if you could put your other hat on right now as president of the Elmwood Business Association, what can you tell us about some of the events that are coming up, or some of the exciting things that have been going on in Elmwood lately?
Well, we've got something that we haven't had in a few years. A few years ago, we had flower pots up and down New Britain Avenue, and the town placed those. Funding for that dropped out, and the town couldn't afford to do it anymore. So Charlie Hilborn of our business association, he's the owner of Sheehan Hilborn Breen Funeral Home, has partnered with the Knox Foundation of Hartford, and we're going to be having, at this point, we have 50 planters that will be up and down New Britain Avenue with flowers from June until October. We've had countless contributions at this point, including the Business Association, West Farms Mall, and Elmwood's just going to look great. So
and how much does it cost to do each one of those planters?
Each planter was about $100, and then there's a maintenance fee also. So we tried to just sort of pool it all as one, and we just want the whole avenue to look great.
And who's going to be maintaining those?
So Knox Foundation will come around on a regular basis, and they do this in Hartford. Knox is committed to the beautification of Hartford, and now they're expanding out a little bit. So they're going to come out, they're going to water, and they're going to weed and take care of the plants as needed.
And will the planters be all along New Britain Avenue, or will they be up close to the buildings themselves?
They'll be up and down on the sidewalks. There's certain constraints we had to work with, and they're going to be potted with annuals, and it's just going to be colorful and beautiful. I can't wait to see. Honestly, I don't know all the details. I just know it's going to look great.
Mm-hmm. Well, that sounds great. That
Yeah.
sounds wonderful. Like, people are really going to want to be walking around and maybe dining outdoors and enjoying the beautiful scenery.
Yep.
So I understand there's some other beautification going on in Elmwood as well, a kind of unsightly railroad bridge that's going to be getting a facelift?
Yeah. So things take a long time in this town. We've been on this we're in 2016 now. So the idea to redo that railroad bridge started, I believe, around 17 years ago.
Oh, wow.
We ran into a brick wall, and that was Amtrak. Amtrak didn't want to do a blessed thing with it. Amtrak is a quasi-federal agency. They didn't want to do it. The town kept sending them violation notices, and Amtrak just put them in the wastebasket and said, well, you try going after us. Finally, through the efforts of Joe Varengi, our state representative, Joe, it took an act of essentially an act of the Connecticut Congress, of the legislature, to work with Amtrak. The bridge is going to be remediated. It's going to be cleaned up. It's going to be, the lead there is going to be abated. Traffic's going to be controlled. Yada, yada, yada. After all this, it will be cleaned up and painted red.
Bright red?
Dull red.
Okay.
Oxblood red. And we had lots of ideas on what we wanted to do with it. There were ideas of artwork and projections and welcome to Elmwood, and each one had a degree of upkeep that we could not commit to. Plus, you have essentially a dangerous situation there. How are you going to put an artist up in that railroad bridge on busy New Britain Avenue and guarantee their safety? So we had to be expedient and say, you know what, we'll do it simply. Maybe in the future we can do something more interesting if the money is there.
And this bridge is visible really only when you're heading west into Elmwood from Hartford, right?
Right.
So,
right. But it was an eyesore, peeling, cruddy black paint. So yet another thing that we've accomplished.
And that should start when?
That's a good question too. Sometime this year.
Okay, excellent, excellent. So what else is going on? Is there any new development going on in the Elmwood area?
Well, going along with what we were just talking about with the railroad bridge, that corner, some wild things are happening in that corner. Now, some 20 years ago, we had a series of charrettes to see what we might want Elmwood to look like in the future. And one of the things we talked about was having a transit-oriented district down at the old Elmwood station. And some really neat pictures were made up with light rail coming through in the Elmwood station. And quite honestly, we all looked at that and said, oh, that would be great. While secretly we looked at each other and said, yeah, in your dreams. The dream's coming true.
So was that a railroad station
There was a
before?
railroad station there.
Where Fast Track is now?
Yes.
I did not know that.
It was Elmwood Depot, and of course
Okay.
you have a Newington Depot, and Fast Track follows that route. What's going to start tying this together is the development of 616 New Park, which is the old Pontiac Center. And the development group that the West Hartford Housing Authority spawned is going to be building an apartment complex there, aimed at millennials, single-family apartments. So they're going to have access to the Trout Brook Trail. They're going to have access to easy commuting on the bus. And that's just not the Fast Track. Let's say they're going to the health center or to West Farms Mall, they can pop on the bus. So that's part of that puzzle. Now there's some properties right around there now that are ripe for the picking. And when you have a group of younger people in an apartment building, you have properties that are sort of funky, they're old industrial and older factories. This may be the jewel in that CT Fast Track line. I think in 5 years, I think our jaws are just going to drop at what that turns into. I think that's going to be a really cool place to live.
And my understanding, it's what, 100 plus apartments, I
100
believe?
plus apartments, yeah.
And then the ground floor is going to be retail,
Probably
right?
retail. And I would assume retail, some coffee shops, sandwich shops. And now we're seeing the development up and down New Park Avenue now. So the town is working with a citizens advisory group on making New Park Avenue have more traffic control, more attractive, more pedestrian friendly. We've got Chick-fil-A coming in up by Home Depot, and the idea is that whole New Park Avenue strip's going to eventually start filling in. And honestly, I think we're going to see it.
Now, the bike trail, or the pedestrian and bike trail, I understand will go all the way from the Elmwood Fast Track station all the way up to, well, what's currently the Yukon campus now, but to whatever property that ends up being. But it's going to really traverse town, won't it?
Yeah, and that's been on the books for many years. Again, another pipe dream that we said, wow, it'd be nice to have a Trout Brook Trail. It's gotten done bit by bit by bit, and that's what I've learned over many years in this town. Is you keep nudging, you keep nudging, you keep nudging, you keep pushing things onto the burner, and it may take 10, 20 years. It takes that long here. Stuff gets done. And then when you look at it and you say, wow, where did that come from? And then you start looking back in the record and you find, well, it actually started back 15, 20 years ago. So that's where we are now.
Well, it sounds very exciting. Thank you so much. Thanks, Rick.
Thanks, Ronnie.
And thank you all for watching. Ronnie Newton, the editor of WEHA.com, and you're watching WEHA Mag. I'm here today with Johnny Panderas. Johnny is the owner of Effies Place, which is where we're seated today for this show, and his other hat that he wears is as co-president of the Park Road Association. So Johnny's going to talk to us today about some of the exciting and new and different things that are going on in the Park Road neighborhood. Johnny, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you for coming out to Effies and filming today. This
Having
is
a great cup of coffee.
This is a great cup of coffee and an interesting format for us. We're happy to have you. So we have a couple of things going on in Park Road. We have the construction seemingly has started at the Sisters of St. Joseph property. We see some trucks around and the removing of materials and all sorts of good things happening there.
Now, what's that project going to be? I think people are going to be shocked when they see just how big a development it is and how many people are going to live there.
300 and some odd apartments to come in. It's going to be a great boost for the neighborhood. We're going to have a large number of people walking around the neighborhood and visiting the different businesses around. It's based on, I think, some 20-something-year-olds and maybe 55 plus. So it's going to be great for everyone.
I think one of the neatest things about that development is that they were able to they designed it so that they'd keep the existing buildings in place, including the church.
Right. The church, I believe, is going to be the grand entrance of the property. And the design of the buildings are going to stay pretty much the same. They're going to put a new addition on to the back with a parking garage as well. But the grounds are largely going to sit the way they are now. They have a huge green area in the back. When I think they're going to put a pool in, and some picnic tables and some volleyball courts or something like that in the back to kind of preserve what's there now.
So yeah, it's actually really beautiful back there. A lot of open space and wetlands.
Yeah,
It's
you
very
don't always
park-like.
get to see it, but it's very, very nice.
So, well, I know there's a fundraiser, one of the kind of biggest fundraisers in town, or one of the most fun fundraisers in town coming up soon.
That's right. Our annual celebrity breakfast is coming up on June 14th from 7 to 10. You can even come earlier than 7 o'clock, but most of our servers will start showing up at 7. It's a great event. It's the biggest fundraiser that we have for the parade. We hope to raise a little over a couple $1,000s that day. And we're serving pancakes, eggs, waffles, French toast, or anything else that you want that's off of our menu, but we have a special menu for the day. So we'd like it when people come on down and have breakfast.
Well, I've been a server at the celebrity breakfast a number of times over the past couple of years, and despite having been a failed waitress in my youth, I think
you did pretty good.
I haven't spilled anything, so I'm pretty happy.
Especially with all the people that are walking through
Yeah.
here, it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard, and you do a great job.
You don't want to, spill something on the mayor, or I think the governor's come.
That's right.
Probably
That's
don't want
right.
to spill coffee on that.
They've learned to just kind of stay out of the way too. They kind of they go to the corners and stay out of the way of the coffee pots. They know that there are some rookies handling them.
And I'm definitely one of those rookies. So you said that the celebrity breakfast is a fundraiser for the parade. When is this year's parade going to be?
This year's parade is the first Saturday in October. I believe it's October 2nd. And we always hold it that first Saturday in October. So after last year's rain out, we're very much looking forward to having the parade this year.
So do we have any weathermen who live in the neighborhood who we can have put in a good word?
We've already started contacting the weathermen and asking them to fix the forecast for us. So we'll have to see what they can do.
So, well, are there any other business developments in town? I'm noticing you've got your umbrellas up.
Yeah, the patio's open. It's been a slow start to the spring season for us, with the weather, anyways. But it's open now, so any day the sun's shining, hopefully we'll start doing some music on the patio soon. On Thursday nights, we'll have acoustic guitar player and a singer. We have the Playhouse has some stuff going on. The chorus line is starting June 15th, and it's going to go all the way till July 31st. So that's a long run for them.
Long run for a summer production too.
Right, and they're very excited because it's it's the biggest production that they're putting on. Also, I wanted to mention on Monday, June 6th, United Artist Salon is doing a Haircuts for Humanity through the Journey Home, and they're giving free haircuts to the homeless. And they're taking donations as well at Journey Home. I believe it's journeyhome.org. And also they have some sponsors we're sponsoring. We're bringing some food over for them as well that day. So it's a nice event, and they do it every year.
So that's where anyone who is homeless can go and get their haircut for free. Is that
right?
that,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Through, and it's done apart from sponsorships.
So, and I know the person who runs Journey Home is a West Hartford resident. So I guess they're keeping it
Keeping it local,
town.
right?
Yeah.
Well, we have so many hair salons on Park Road. It just seems like it's a natural fit.
Definitely. Anything else that you'd like to share with us today?
Aside from our Effies has new furniture. I don't know if you could see it in the clip, but we have new tables and booths, and with some new paint on the walls. So if you haven't been here in a while, come over and check us out.
Well, I tried recently to come for brunch, and it was so crowded. You guys are doing a booming business here.
Thank you. It seems like all the restaurants on Park Road are doing very well. You drive through on a Saturday morning, or on any weeknight, and you'll see cars all over the place. And it seems like all the restaurants are crowded, and people seem to be happy to be here. I think we offer a unique setting rather than your typical center and blueback, which are great. We offer a little bit of a different setting, and people just seem to enjoy it.
Thank you for taking the time out of your day to chat with us at WEHA Mag, and thank you also for letting us hang out in your dining room and for hosting this.
Well, thanks for coming over and doing this today. It was my pleasure.
Thanks, and thank you all for watching.
Thanks for tuning in to this month's WEHA Mag. My name's Tom Hickey. I'm one of the hosts this evening with,
Barbara Lerner from the West Hartford Chamber of Commerce.
and I'm with WEHA, what am I with? WEHA.com and West Hartford Magazine. And as we do every month, Barbara and I get together with all of the business association and neighborhood associations in town, which include the Bishop's Corner Neighborhood Association, the Elmwood Business Association,
Home Design District,
Park
Road,
Association,
and Bishop's Corner Neighborhood Association.
Bishop's Corner Neighborhood Association, West Hartford Center, and Blueback Square.
We
I think we got them all. We got to get this
We
down.
may have
'cause
covered a couple of them twice.
we may have. You think by now we had it down.
And today we are at Effie's place on Park Road. Johnny Panderas is co-president of the Park Road Business Association, and he was nice enough to host us today.
It certainly was. So do us a favor and let us know what you think by being on location here in throughout West Hartford, because we'll keep doing it if you like it. Otherwise, we can go back into the studio and bring everyone together. But we like to mix it up a little bit.
I kind of like the location. Get
Right?
a little coffee, a little
Yeah, a
cake.
little bit different,
You know,
absolutely.
you wanted an
So-
ice cream sundae.
I did want an ice cream sundae, but Barbara's making me behave. So
We could have it all here.
absolutely, we can.
So we're going to talk about a couple of the
We are.
business associations
So why
now,
don't Barbara Karski from the West Hartford Center Business Association and Elizabeth Zigmont from Blueback Square had a conflict with their schedules today, but they asked me to give a report. Actually, they just had a meeting for the West Hartford Center Business Association last week, so it's pretty fresh on our mind. There is one really big event coming up in June. It starts on Thursday night, June 23rd, and it ends on Sunday. And it's really exciting because it's the first time that three things have come together in West Hartford Center to make it sort of one big, wonderful weekend as school gets out. So on Thursday night, the 23rd, the fashion pages of West Hartford Magazine are going to come to life on the Showmobile, as they have in the past. So we'll bring a wonderful sort of formal fashion show to life on the Showmobile. And that's on the corner of Farmington Avenue
And LaSalle
and
Road.
LaSalle, where Blue Mercury is now open and located. So come check that out Thursday night. There'll be lots of information as we get closer to that event. And then Thursday, also the same day, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday are the sidewalk sales, the annual sidewalk sales for West Hartford Center that for I don't know how many years have been in July. But this year, because school's getting out early, because there were no snow days, everyone's decided to let's get the sidewalk sales sort of up and running and clear out that merchandise in June before 4th of July. So that will go Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And it all culminates, believe it or not, on Sunday, where LaSalle Road will be shut down and the annual Ferrari event will take place. So all those magnificent Ferraris will roll into town and be on display on LaSalle Road.
You could go shopping, see a fashion show, and oogle incredible cars.
Absolutely.
There'll be lots
Absolutely.
to do that weekend. You know, all the restaurants are open, of course, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night. There'll be lots of street traffic. The stores put out all of their merchandise for sale at greatly discounted prices. Bishop's Corner has a lot going on, too. So the Bishop's Corner Neighborhood Association has an arts group. And in the past, they've done a couple of small things. They did a poetry reading. They had a pop-up art gallery. Well, this year they're going to be doing a party on the patio, and I think that will be at Blue Plate Kitchen's patio. They're going to, again, I know it's going to be just poetry readings, writers giving talks. It could be a combination of things, but there will be interesting events happening there. There will be
And I probably should add, too, I know that they're working very closely with the colleges, and the West Hartford universities and colleges. So it would primarily University of St. Joe's and University of Hartford.
Well, and all of these things that we're talking about will be listed on the town's listserv also. So that's just a great reference to go to if you're looking for something to do and you're unsure. It goes from adult entertainment to family events. Also coming up is Celebrate West Hartford. So
That's right.
I mean, the first weekend in June, there's a lot to do. The Bishop Corner Neighborhood Association also has a farmers market. So the farmers market will be every Saturday from 9 a.m. to noon. right in the Starbucks and Crown supermarket.
Okay,
And I
great.
think that starts the second Saturday in June.
In June,
Just
okay.
have to wait for the farmers to get some locally grown produce. Since
That's right.
They only can sell locally grown produce at those markets. So.
And we probably should add that West Hartford Center also does a farmer's market.
And that has already
Right.
begun.
Oh, it
I
did?
saw them there on Saturday.
Oh,
So
okay.
limited number of farmers. There were maybe 5 farmers there.
Okay.
But yeah, that was
And
great
that's
to
on the
see that
corner,
open.
Arapahoe corner, right?
That's at the corner of Arapahoe
yeah.
and LaSalle Road.
Opposite the
so.
post office.
And I really would like to talk about the Chamber of Commerce has
Sure,
2
please-
big events
please
coming
do.
up.
Absolutely.
So on June 20th, we have our annual meeting. So we this year we're calling it Spotlight on Members, and we are highlighting Chamber members who have done something extraordinary or just have worked hard in the community and don't get acknowledged for it. So we're going to acknowledge them this year.
That's great.
We have different categories. We have technology and marketing, youth to business. Have I missed anything? Ambassadors.
Is it right here? We can
Yes,
cheat.
I can.
Let's
I'm
see.
going to need to cheat because there are so
Absolutely.
many of them.
all right.
Health and wellness, economic development. And then we also give our annual Noah Webster Award. And this is the first time I'm announcing it. And
You're going to tell us.
I'm going to tell you.
Oh, all right.
This year
This
we're
is
giving
great.
the Noah Webster Award to Scott Slifka
There we go.
for 15 years of incredible service to the town of West Hartford. So he should
Can't
be
think
getting
of a
a
more
letter from,
deserving person. That's great.
yeah, he'll be
That's
getting a
wonderful.
letter from us in the next day or so. But these are chamber members who really work hard for the community, and we do appreciate everything that they do. So that is June 20th.
And that whole spotlight approach, Barbara, I mean, last year I know it wasn't called Spotlight, but you did a special feature with
Highlighted long-term members.
long-term members, and it was amazing how many local businesses have been paying dues for
55
and that's a
years.
big deal, paying dues for 55 years.
55 years.
That's, you know,
And
so-
coming to meetings
co-
and
yeah,
being actively
involved. Yeah,
so
that's great.
It's great.
It's excellent.
And then we have our golf tournament.
Actually, I'm going to sneak in there
Okay,
before, 'cause
go
we're
ahead.
going to go in chronological order,
Okay,
even though we
all
didn't
right.
know we
We'll
were.
wait till August.
Hang on for August. I'm going to jump into July for a second because there is something really exciting happening the last Wednesday in July. It's July 27th, and it will be the Taste of Blueback and the Taste of the Center. In the spirit of how WEHA.com and West Hartford Magazine have been doing the Taste of Elmwood and the Taste of Bishop's Corner, it was time to bring everyone together
More food.
in Blueback. More food during the summer. So, so what was really interesting about it was the location. You know, where were you going to have this, assuming it's going to be a 90-degree day and lots of sunshine and just beautiful? But, you know, because it's the first time, you know, we can't afford a tent. And, you know, how do you make sure people are comfortable if it's too hot? And so you have air conditioning. So Elizabeth Zigmont from Blueback Square and Robin and the whole gang have been really supportive of the event. And they came up with the idea of using...
White House Black
Thank
Market.
you. Yeah, I knew I was going to mess it up. That former location, because it right now is empty and it will be empty at
It's a
that
perfect
time.
location.
And it's nice shell for us. And all of the restaurants participating from Blueback Square will be there. Will be housed in that building. So we'll have air conditioning and anything that we would need during the summer
Lights.
months. Lights,
Electricity.
the whole bit.
Right.
So we won't have to worry about weather. And then what's really going to be interesting is if you go a little bit further down Isham Road at the auditorium of First Church, they have welcomed, which to my knowledge is the first time that an outside, business or association has gone into First Church to have such an event. So they're beautiful. That's that glass enclosed structure that you see from Isham Road is where all of the dining establishments from the center will be housed. So we'll have Blueback in White House Black Market. We'll have the center in First Church Auditorium, and then right in the middle. Where Barnes & Noble is, what they call the square. Right in the middle of the square is where there'll be dessert and coffee and tea and entertainment. And the fun thing is that all people who want to attend will buy a wristband. They'll pay for a wristband, and that will give them access from 5 o'clock to 8 o'clock that Wednesday.
All 3 locations.
All 3 locations to eat and drink and have fun. And also, most importantly, another great idea of both Elizabeth Zigmont and Barbara Karski from the West Hartford Center Association. Any business that wants to have a special discount or a special drink price or a free dessert or whatever it would be by showing your wristband, there'll be 300 people, because we know we're going to sell out. There'll be 300 people who will be walking around the center that evening shopping shopping, dining, and strolling, and having a great time. So that will be in July.
And just in
That'll be
case you
great.
can't get enough food and drink and dessert, you can continue on
Absolutely.
to anywhere in Blueback Square and West Hartford Center. They'll
Absolutely.
be participating.
Gladly.
That's going to be a great event
Yeah,
too.
it should be fun.
So and then our golf tournament, which
Sure.
is the Chamber's really biggest fundraiser. It is August 29th at the Hartford Golf Club, which is just a spectacular location. This will be our 3rd year there. So if you are a golfer, please register. Your foursome individuals will place you with other golfers. But if you don't golf, you can come too, because we open that up, the dinner as our business after hours. So it's really open to everybody. And it's really so much fun. The golf, the dinner, the raffle prizes.
I do make sure I go to the dinner, and it really is a great networking opportunity. And it's a Monday night,
It's
correct?
a Monday night.
So, it's
It
before
is.
your week gets crazy, and you have to eat, so you might as well attend.
And it's over by 7:30.
Right.
So,
That's right.
we don't want it to go too late. We want people to be able to go home and relax before they have to go to work the next day.
Absolutely. It is that time again. Last year, we did the first annual Best of West Hartford. This year will be the second annual Best of West Hartford. I didn't have a mock-up because I forgot to bring it, but that's okay. It's not printed yet anyway. But this is the guide that we use that evening, and you'll notice that we just go through different categories of the different, let me back up. Last year there were 32 categories. This year there are 50 categories. The general public nominates when the businesses have been nominated over the course of the summer. So in July and August, the general population will vote. You do have to be a West Hartford business to be nominated and to be entered into the Best of West Hartford. You do not have to live in West Hartford to vote. So we have lots of people from outside of West Hartford who are involved. This year we're up to 50 categories because we learned a lot last year of trying to expand, making sure that as one of the things that comes to mind is instead of doing a national women's retail only, we now have a national category and a local category. So little things like that just to make the event that much more special for everyone. And it will be the second annual Best of West Hartford will be on Thursday, September 8th. So that's going to be right after Labor Day, after your golf tournament. And we encourage everyone to come. You'll be able to watch, as with anything we talked about, on the Chamber website, on WEHA.com, all the information, Renee's Town of West Hartford site. We're all linked and we all, help each other cross-promote. So all the information will be there.
So if I
for
want to
everyone.
vote, tell me how I would go about
Right now, you go
voting.
to WEHA.com. Remember the dash. That's WE-HA.com. All over the site, there are, in rotation, there are nominating buttons that you just click onto. It then brings you directly to the nominating form. Works the same way for voting when we get to the voting portion. And when you get into the system, again, because we really want this to be a People's Choice Awards and be something different than what many other best ofs do in the area, you are required to nominate or vote for 2/3 of the categories. So you really have to spend some time when you get into that. Again, what's it going to take you? 5 to 7 minutes, to do it. But after you get through that process and you're all done, you will get an email sent back to you asking you to confirm that you indeed
was
did
you?
vote, that
Okay.
it was you who voted number one, and most importantly, you only can vote one time. So there's not an opportunity for me to pick my favorite, businesses or anyone else
Well, it
on
really
the
is the
WEHA team.
community
It's a really
picking.
community thing. It's the people, choosing who they are. And if you don't mind me saying this, because I thought it was so much fun last year, very last minute we came up with the idea of how could we make sure that people understand that no one knows who wins until that evening. So when you come on Thursday night, September 8th, you'll see Tom Filomeno carrying a black briefcase, and in the black briefcase
winners?
are all the winners.
Will he be in a tuxedo?
And let's hope so. I think he should have handcuffs on this year, so as well. So we'll have to see. But stay tuned. It should be a lot of fun. And as you said, Barbara, there's so much going on. June, July, August, and
Yeah, we've only
early
gone
September.
to the beginning
It's
of
crazy.
September.
Yeah. So please, join us. Tune in again, as we said, to the West Hartford Chamber's website, to WEHA.com. To the Town of West Hartford, Facebook, as well, any social media device that you prefer, and you'll be able to learn everything that's going on in West Hartford. So thank you so much for tuning in. Again, I'm Tom Hickey from West Hartford Magazine and WEHA.com,
And I'm Barbara Lerner from the West Hartford Chamber of Commerce.
and we will see you around town with all of these wonderful events and activities in June, July, August and right up till September 8th for the Best of West Hartford.
Right. We'll look forward to seeing you there.